Hello. So the first tune I'd like to play for you is a tune that I learned. It's an old-time tune called Ducks in the Millpond. I probably learned it about 15 years ago at a local folk school. And I said, well, that's a great tune. And so let me just play it for you. So that's a very straightforward, pretty sort of typical sounding old-time tune. I really like it though. So I've been playing that for a while, and then a couple years later I heard an album that one of the fiddle player, the main fiddle player from Battlefield Band, if you're familiar with Battlefield Band in Scotland, they're one of the all-time great Scottish bands. They've been going for decades. But one of the fiddle players they've had over the years, his name was Alistair White, and not sure if he's still with the band, but he recorded an album, actually he called the White Album, and he recorded a tune on that album that immediately caught my attention, and I had never heard it before, but he labeled it as a traditional Scottish strathspey. And it's a tune called O'er the Boughs to Ballindalloch. So this is actually, I believe it's a piping tune, and I did a little bit of research on this tune, and the pipers played a little bit differently than he recorded it, but the way he recorded it reminded me an incredible amount of Ducks on the Millpond. So let me see if I can remember how it goes. I'll play the strathspey, and then I'll go into Ducks on the Millpond so you can hear how similar they sound. So I've actually listened to some pipers some pipe bands that have recorded this later, and the strathspey doesn't quite sound as close to the tune as Alistair played it. So I don't know if this is a case of Alistair being influenced by Ducks on the Millpond, or if it really, the original tune was the old strathspey and somehow came over. But again, that's kind of one of the beautiful things about folk music, is that no one's really ever sure what happened when, and it's kind of this gloriously messy process. Whenever I hear either of those tunes, I sort of smile and say, I know another tune that sounds a lot like that and is very different but very similar all at the same time. So anyways, thanks for your attention, and I'll post another one of these soon.